Hey, what's up guys? I'm Rob Richards and today I'm in the kitchen filming for supplementsworld.com. I'd like to share with you a really easy and great tasting salmon dish. It's a ginger glazed salmon on top of a bed of quinoa. Really easy to make, plus it hits all of your macros, listing in at 32 grams of protein, 31 grams of carbs, 24 grams of healthy fats, and all of this under 500 calories. Don't forget you can check out the full article and all of the steps at supplementsworld.com. Plus, we'll include a link in the description below. But first, let's kick things off and have a look at the ingredients themselves. 2 tablespoons light soy sauce, 3/4 cup of quinoa, 1 tablespoon sesame seeds, 2 tablespoons honey, 2 teaspoons olive oil, 5 cloves of crushed garlic, 1 red and 1 yellow bell pepper, fresh ginger root, 1.5 cups sugar snap peas, 1 pound salmon, red pepper flakes. Right, so the first step of this recipe is to really create the marinade and set the salmon into this. Now, I'm using salmon, but you can just as well use any other protein source. This works well with whitefish, such as cod, haddock, even things like soi fillet or orange roughy, which tends to be a little bit less expensive, yet you can still transform the taste. Right, so step one, I have a mixing bowl here. We're gonna start off by putting our balsamic vinegar in, along with our soy sauce or our liquid Bragg's amino. Take our honey as well. Great thing about making your own marinade is that you know exactly what goes into it. It's all natural, single ingredients, not like the marinated meats that you would buy from a supermarket or even at a restaurant where you have often a lot of other additives and ingredients in. Next up, I have our ground ginger, and then finish off with our olive oil. Let's give this a real good mix around. Now we're gonna place the salmon into the marinade. Make sure it's nice and evenly covered. You can use something like a ziplock bag or a Tupperware. Keep it airtight. I'm gonna keep this to chill in the fridge for about 20 minutes. If you really want to get more of an intense flavor, you can leave it in there for an hour, even an hour and a half. Okay, step number 2. I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're now gonna set it in our baking tray, get the salmon cooking, and then move on with our quinoa and our stir-fry vegetables. And we'll put our marinade aside. We'll use that later towards the glaze. This goes into the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna leave it there for about 15 minutes. And what I want to do is just make it flaky, which means using a fork and just pricking away at the flakes on there to see if they separate. So about 15 minutes into the oven, let's get it in. Moving on to step number 2, this is all about our quinoa. So I've had some water boiling. I'll set it down here. This is about 1.5 cups of water. We're gonna season it just with a pinch of salt. And then our quinoa, which is actually a complete protein. So it's a little bit better than using rice because it is a complete protein. And I just think it pairs really well with this ginger glazed salmon. So we have our quinoa there, which is rinsed. That goes into our pot. The water is already boiled, so now I'm just gonna put a lid on it and leave it to simmer for about 10 minutes until it's light and fluffy. Moving on to the final step before we just plate everything together, we're going to create our stir fry. And for this, we need our skillet. So here's our iron skillet. I like using this just because I feel it distributes the heat. It gets nice and hot, which is just what we need for a stir fry. Red and yellow bell peppers, along with our minced garlic. This literally takes just 5 minutes. So let's get it onto the stove, get the stir fry cooking. And by the time that's done, our salmon and our quinoa should be ready to plate up. About 18 minutes, so let's check on our salmon. Yeah, that looks about right. What I'm looking for here is just the salmon will start to flake away if I lightly press it down with a fork, and that's Exactly what it's doing, nice and flaky. Okay, that's done. So now that we have our baked salmon, our quinoa, and our stir fries ready, all that's left to do is to plate this up. 2 nice big fillets there. So next up, we're gonna take our plate, put it right there in the middle. Cool down just a bit. I'm gonna put these all around the edge. Great thing about vegetables is that they really don't contain too many calories at all. A lot of starches and fiber, so you really don't have to control portion sizes as much as the other macro-based foods. So whether you want a little or a lot, just load up the plate with them. Get our salmon back on top there. Right over the center of our salmon like so. I'm gonna end with just a sprinkle of our sesame seeds. Pinch of our pepper flakes. Add a little bit of spice in there. And then finally just a garnish of our cilantro on top like so. Okay guys, there we have it. Our ginger glazed salmon on top of a bed of protein-rich quinoa, surrounded by our stir-fry dish of snow snap peas and yellow and red thinly sliced bell peppers. Altogether, this comes in at 33 grams of protein, 31 grams of carbs, and 24 grams of fat. But remember, most of that fat is from the salmon, which is high in omega-3, a good type of fat that we need. For more information, including the full recipe and all of the steps, go to supplementsworld.com. And if you haven't already, do subscribe to our YouTube. Stay up to date on all of our training, nutritional, and supplementational videos. I'm Rob Richards. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.